DJI Mavic 3 Classic, release date and pricing. Got that coming up next. Bill the Drone Reviewer here. If you like the content of this video or anything on my channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any future content. With that, let's begin. The other night I hosted Rotor Talk Live and was joined by Mr. Marcus Crawford and Mr. Ron Brown. We spent the better part of the evening discussing all the latest regarding the DJI Mavic 3 Classic, including the release date, pricing, features, and a whole lot more. So without any further ado, let's roll that clip in its entirety. You walked in at the right time, Ron. You really did, okay?
Mavic Nation now starts.
We're Mavic 3 Nation is underway right now, officially. And there's two articles that I want to go over first. And then we're gonna
take a deep dive into the Mavic 3 Classic.
Yeah, we're gonna take a deep dive here. Now, my mouse is giving me all kind of fits tonight. Okay,
I'm going back to the dentist tomorrow. Well, anyway,
I have an update near the end.
I saw your update on Facebook for your dental issues, Bill.
I saw that, Bill.
It's going to be a marathon, and I'm going to talk about that here in a minute. New DJI drone, Mavic 3 Classic. DJI explains in filing the Mavic 3 Classic aircraft will support the same technical construction as the original Mavic 3. Two biggest changes will feature just one camera instead of two, meaning telelens will be sacrificed. As such, Mavic 3 Classic should be able to shoot 20 megapixel stills, 12-bit RAW, 5.1K, 50 frames per second, and 4K at 120 frames per second. In the meantime,
Bill, can I stop you there because we may not get back with the 12-bit RAW format? Doesn't our Mavic 3 on the 430 sensor only do 20-bit?
I think so.
So this 12-bit is a downgrade. This is true.
I'd have to double check and see on that, Ron. I'm not
because basically what happens is our Mavic 3 and our Mavic 2 Pros had 20-bit raw photos, where it's drones like the mini the mini drones, they only have 12-bit.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this is a typo here. I can't believe that they would.
I think you're right.
12-bit on a higher end drone.
That doesn't make sense. You're right, Ron. You know, I'm kind of like scratching my head on that one as well too here. In addition,
all the way back to the Phantom 4 Pro V1, V2, whatever V you got, it had 20-bit raw photos. So that drone's like 5 years old. Why would we go back to 12-bit?
Yeah, they wouldn't be going backwards with this, okay?
On anything but a mini drone, unless they're going to pull the stuff they do in the mini drones where it's 12-bit, but they do that pixel, thing where they say 48 megapixels, where they're splitting the pixels and double.
Yeah, I don't think they're. You bring up a great point here, Ron, and I don't think they're going to do that. I really don't.
Sorry to interrupt. I just did want to. Go on from that before we had a little.
No, that's an important point, Ron. They also said a few circuit and component modifications to be expected in Mavic 3 Classic, changing the RF filter of the software-defined radio communication system, but without tweaking any RF parameters, deletion of some unused interfaces, peripheral circuits, and motor speed control components to optimize the size and layout of the printed circuit board, software-enabled feature additions for operations in Europe, including Galileo satellite navigation and flying in 5170 to 5250. Galileo. Releasing affordable version. Okay, we're going to go. Mavic 3 is known to produce 35% less drag in wind tunnel testing, allowing for faster top speed.
That's very true.
Okay. Now we're going to go over here. Our good friend Kestelou. DJI Mavic 3 Classic might cost less than $1,400 when it's released on October 27th, okay?
And that's a Thursday, Bill. We looked it up last night.
The Mavic 3 Classic is anticipated to go on sale on October 27th for around $1,400, possibly even less. Earlier today, we shared these photos from Deals Drone showing the new DJI drone. Additionally, Mavic 3 Classic was listed in FCC filings, providing further proof that the new DJI camera drone is definitely on its way. Then we learned from a seasoned, trustworthy source the new DJI's drone release is indeed just weeks away. Significantly less expensive Mavic 3 Classic is scheduled to go on sale on October 27th, just in time for the holiday shopping season. Mavic 3 Classic is a more scaled back version of the Mavic 3. It will only have one camera, and specifications are likely to be the same as those of the Mavic 3's main camera. To appeal to a broader market, DJI has made less expensive versions of existing camera drones in recent years. We saw this with a Mini SE. Now we're seeing with the Mavic 3 Classic. DJI's flagship drone for serious drone enthusiasts. Mavic 3 is an expensive drone at nearly $2,000, so it makes a lot of sense to introduce a slightly stripped down, more affordable version. DJI waited nearly a year to release a less expensive Mavic 3 Classic, presumably to maximize profits on the sale of the Mavic 3 and Mavic 3 Cine. The drone maker is now set to release the Mavic 3 Classic on October 27th. While we are less enthusiastic about DJI's emphasis on profits, excited to see a lower cost version of the Mavic 3 at the market. It'll enable more people to get in the drone hobby and possibly even make a career out of it. Okay, what are your guys' thoughts? Okay, I want to kind of ask a twofold question here. Okay, number one, your thoughts about this in general, and then here's the real pointed question here. Okay, is this an Air 3 killer?
Ooh.
That's what I was going to say. What's this do to the Air 2S? Right, it's so close in price. They sure would be splitting that hair pretty thin. We talked about that a little bit on Drone Nation. So yeah, I wonder about that as well too. I would, yeah, they'd have to really include something magical in the Air 3 at that point,
or really hit a good price point.
I mean, you know, this price point for this is fantastic, and I guess, first of all, you know, nothing's been talked about as far as like the controller is concerned. And I'm kind of curious to see if it comes with the stock controller, like we got with the Mavic 3 when we got that, or does it come with a DJI RC Pro? You know, there hasn't been.
I'm glad you brought that up. The rumor mill says it's coming with the DJI RC baby smart controller.
Okay.
Hey, can I add to that?
Go for it.
And let me say, there are people saying, well, that's really going to make the existing people that bought the original Mavic 3 mad when it comes with that upgraded controller. No, it doesn't make me mad. I'm happy that people are going to get that better controller. That controller didn't exist when I bought my Mavic 3, so why would I be mad?
Hey, Marcus, how can I be mad that our Mavic 3 didn't come with a controller that didn't exist then?
That didn't even exist.
Yeah,
now,
well, these people are mad. Are they? Do they have a time machine where they're going to, take the RC controller, which came out 6 months later, and take it back in the time?
Yeah, exactly right. Now, here's what I think is a legitimate reason to be mad about is that when Ron and I and Bill, when we bought our Mavic 3s, they didn't have a combo that you could buy the RC Pro with it. You know, get a couple $100 off the RC Pro by buying it in a combo.
Nope.
At that very time, it made me mad. You had to buy the Cine to get it, and that was prohibitively expensive. So
yes.
Anyway,
one thought that rings out with me, Bill. Well, that comment that DJI, how did they say? Merchandising or whatever. Somewhere that they were greedy. But listen, with a lot of products like this, what they do is they release the more expensive model first, and that model kind of pays the bills for all the technology and whatever. And then when they start that drone has showed a profit after all the R&D and marketing comes in, then after that hits, then they can afford to sell it a cheaper version. That's people that say that they're greedy because they don't release the cheap one first. They don't understand how these companies work or whatever. The expensive product has to come first because that has to pay for all the development. What Marcus knows.
Yeah, all the R&D. Now, the other thing that I'm gonna sing some praises about that DJI RC because I was flying it today with the Mini 3 Pro on a very bright sunny day. Now, is it as bright as the RC Pro? No, it is not, but it is perfectly adequate. I kind of was, while I was flying the drone and I was right in the middle of direct sunlight. Yeah, no, it wasn't as bright as the RC Pro, but could I fly the drone perfectly and could I see what I needed to see? Yes, I could. Did all the controls work like they needed to be? Absolutely, they did. Did it have good range and good connection? Absolutely, it did. So yeah,
And what it didn't do, it didn't cost you an extra 2 or 3 minutes to get your tablet mount out
yeah.
and all your wiring and connections done.
Good point, Ron, because I flew that drone back to back with the Autel Nano Plus. And the Nano Plus, I had to do all those things that you talked about.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. It seems like a small thing, but when you're out there flying, it's amazing how much quicker you can get a drone that it's all built into one controller, how much faster it is to get it.
Sometimes minutes make a big difference. Clouds moving in, rain's moving in. You got to get the shot. An extra 2-3 minutes, you may lose shot. Bill, I want to throw a question back to you about this whole thing.
Okay.
We know that a lot of Mavic 2 Pro owners were sitting on the fence when the Mavic 3 came out. That $21.99 price, that price was just that was out of their ballpark. They resisted. They sat back and whatever. But do you think all the people that kind of sat in the fence, Mavic 2 Pro owners, do you think this Mavic 3 Classic will get them off the fence and they will finally upgrade to the Mavic 3 from their Mavic 2 Pros?
Yes, I think so, and I think also too. I think what a lot of them did in the interim, and this is just I'm swinging for the fence on this one here. Okay, I think quite a few of them probably got an Air 2S. Okay.
Yes. They chose that instead. Yes.
They'll probably end up selling their Air 2S and getting the Mavic 3 Classic. Okay. Because I think, it is, it's going to be an upgrade. Okay. For that. All right.
I mean, if you were a hardcore Mavic 2 Pro owner, you probably like the variable aperture on that. So then you had to downgrade without the the variable aperture on the Air 2S. Even though some people say they like the Air 2S camera better than the Mavic 2 Pro, you just didn't have the flexibilities as far as your controls.
Yeah, and you're 100% correct on that, Ron.
So, Ron, I'm going to put you on the spot here because you're kind of our camera guy. For me, why do I care about a variable aperture? And let me partially answer my own question. You have told me in the past that you can use that variable aperture to slow down your shutter speed without using an ND filter. So if I have a drone with a variable aperture, do I need ND filters? So it's kind of a two-part question there.
Yeah, you can, with the adjustable aperture, so you can, again, if you don't want your shutter to be 1/4000 because it's too bright or whatever, you can, close that down and let less light in or whatever, and that will, somewhat take care of the situation. I mean, the best way is to have ND filters on and use the variable aperture because, the ND filter, you may pick the one that's not exactly right. So you still may not be at that, say, 30, FPS, and then you may not be your double, but you will be able to control that with the aperture rather than bring the drone down and change the ND filter.
Yeah.
And just in general, even if it's got nothing to do with ND filter, even just taking a picture, sometimes you don't want all that light coming in the camera. So you say you put an f11 rather than f2.8, which is letting in the most possible light you can, and that's too bright. You want to take it all the way to the other extreme where the f11 you're leaving in the littlest amount of light or whatever. So it's just a good tool to have. Now, that being said, Marcus, today's modern cameras in auto are very good at figuring that out themselves, but they're not perfect, and they're good at figuring out in basic lighting situations. The more complicated the lighting situation is, the less effective the auto settings are.
That makes sense too.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ron.
I mean, it's not crucial. The variable aperture is not a must-have. For everybody, but it's nice to have, especially if you're not, paying, a whole bunch of money more to get it. So
I would say, Ron, you're probably right. In about 7 out of 10 people, they're not going to be that concerned with a variable aperture. Okay. The last 3, yeah. I mean, somebody like you, who's the Jedi Master of Sunsets, yeah, you're going to want to have that flexibility and that feature. But for about 7 out of 10, they're probably not going to, probably not going to get there and adjust that aperture like you would. Okay. And like several serious videographers, photographers would. one of the things I also wanted to talk about too was this price point here. Now, figuring this $14.99, $13.99, you know, whatever it ends up panning out to being. Okay, now this is, you know, and you know, we didn't discuss this, but you know, this is not a Flymore combo. Okay, this is just you're getting your battery, your controller, you know, just your basic things here. Okay, nobody said anything about that. Okay, now, you know, with a Flymore combo, you're probably getting towards like $18.99, I'd imagine, or somewhere around that. You know,
do you think they will offer a Flymore combo on the day of release, Bill?
That was my question too.
Yeah, I think they will, but I think,
because do they sell? I mean, I know you could buy the Mavic 3. You could buy it with a Flymore combo kit, but did they ever sell the Flymore combo for the Mavic 3 as a separate standalone purchase?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So you're saying they're going to come out with a cheaper Flymore kit, maybe minus the $300 bag, and maybe minus the I think $350 ND filter set.
Yeah. See, there's some things in there, okay, like that bag, and I don't know why. And this is one of these things. It kind of blows my mind, like the DJI Store Day, which I don't get and I don't understand, and I never will. Okay, why they throw that bag in there is beyond me. Okay, because I'll tell you what, you know, does the drone fit in the bag? Yes. Okay, is that something I want to carry my drone around in? Not a chance. Okay, I have my cases. Case that I have for my Mini 3 and the case that I have for my they're Leica's cases. I pay like $60 for them on Amazon. These things are rock solid. I love them. I carry them everywhere. Okay, you know, in and out of the car, going when I set up. You know, I don't have an issue with that. But these soft side cases that DJI has been giving us for years, come on, guys, get with the program. People don't want these things. Okay, it's like, you know, what's the definition of insanity? You keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. You know. Yeah, and it's not. People aren't interested in it.
Yeah, and it's a whole different ball game with the Mavic 3 Flymore. When you get the little bag with the mini drones or whatever, it doesn't really do much to the price of the Flymore kit. So you get the little bag, that's fine. You know what I mean? It's affordable, but when it drives the price way up on the Mavic 3 Flymore kit, that's a whole different story, Bill.
Because I think both you and Marcus are like me. Okay, if I'm taking my drone out, and I mean even locally. Not even thinking about going on a plane and flying out of state. Okay. But I'll tell you what, you know, I don't want to be tossing it around in a soft-sided bag. Okay. You know, plop it down on the back seat or whatever. I want to have it in a case like this, because if I plop it down on the seat, okay, it's going to be secure sitting in that foam. It's not going to be rattling around in there, you know?
One more point that I like the suitcase style cases, because you can open it up and see everything in there then, as opposed to the bags where you're reaching in and you're digging around for things. Now, that said, Bill, since DJI kind of switched to that style, I kind of get used to it now, and it doesn't bug me as much as it did at first. And there is the advantage in that it's a very compact package.
And lightweight too, Bill. I agree with what you're saying, but I still do a combo. See, I'm going to walk down to the beach and fly. I only live 5 minutes, but I still don't want to carry a heavy hard case down. I'll put it in a soft bag and put it around my shoulder and carry it down, because it's kind of with me all the time. It's not like it's rattled around the back of the car or anything like that. And I'll get it out and fly and put it in the bag and bring it home. And sometimes it goes home and goes back in the hard case again. But
it's like
a mixture of cases.
Yeah, the only place I walked to with my drone was I went out. I got a new video coming out. I did a roof inspection after the hurricane. So, because Valerie said, you better get up and do a roof inspection. I said, why? She went out to the community page, and several people said they have a lot of loose tile out there. So I went out there, and my results are good. You know, we were fine, but it was good to be able to do that. So, but still, it's like every time I go somewhere, I'm in a car. Okay. It's like all the time. And for me, it makes the most sense to put it in those cases. I mean, it just, and I feel better that way too. Now
as far as I know, Bill, DJI only offers hard cases for their enterprise level drones. Is that your knowledge too?
Yeah, the enterprise level drones, the Matrice drones, yeah, they come with a case standard. Okay, it's like, okay, GPC and all these other case companies and everything. They're out of luck because DJI provides a case with those drones. It's there automatically.
Yeah.
So that's not that's not an issue. But yeah, I really see them offering a fly more kit, but I think availability
A cheaper one, a basic one, just
right. It's going to be
fly more
basic.
kit we all want. All we want is the multi-charger and extra batteries.
A couple extra batteries. Okay,
They keep all the other stuff.
Props. Okay, you can buy props anytime. Okay, that's like inconsequential to me. All right.
Yeah.
I don't need all that. The bag, I really don't want the bag for me. Okay, I want that little charging hub. I want the extra batteries. Okay, that's my big thing. I want those two more batteries.
Keep the tray sharp.
Yeah. I mean, and that'll suffice for me. Okay. And then I think the other thing too is if you are out there and you're considering purchasing this when it comes out on the 27th, okay, do yourself a big favor. And if you want to get both of these, order them separately. Okay. Because I found when I did that with the Mavic 3, and also with the Mini 3, it was much better. I got things a lot faster doing it that way. So don't order everything all at once. For some reason, it works out better with DJI's system, and I don't understand it. Well, you know what? Here, I do understand it, okay? Because I'll tell you what, a lot of these Flymore kits, let's say, they may be out in California, okay, and the actual drone itself may be like in Atlanta, okay. So what they do is, and you've seen that option on Amazon, combine your order into one to get things faster, kind of a thing, or whatever. Okay, I think this is what's happening here because I think they have central points for these. Okay, I think the drones are going to be in all the warehouses, but I think that things like a Flymore kit are going to be out in one central location and shipped from there. That's just a guess.
Question to both of you.
Yeah.
Will they be available in Best Buy on day one?
There you go. That's the mail.
You asked a $60,000 question on that one, Marcus. That's a real good question. You know what? I don't know because I think for some reason I don't know. DJI's got some has got a bug up there. You know what? For Best Buy for some reason. Yeah. Because of what happened with the Mini 3. I don't know. I wish I could say yes.
Let me ask a more broader question. The pile of markets thing. Okay, on the 27th, when they announced with DJI, announced the drone, and the announcement will just be that 2-minute ad or whatever. We see all the beautiful video, and then it appears on the store at like 5 minutes before 9 a.m. Okay, that day. Will you be able to order that drone any place else but DJI.com? And I mean, and not a pre-order. Order it that day and have it actually shipped besides DJI.com. Will that be your only?
No.
DJI will be your only source of
that
ordering
day.
on the 27th.
Yes.
Okay.
That day.
Yeah.
I just it's just kind of the way they've done it because. You'll go on to Amazon and they'll probably be there. There'll probably be a landing page for it, but it won't show.
It'll say it's shipping like in 3 weeks, where that date will change. You go back 24 hours later, and that date will be sooner. But that that date, the last couple drones, that date is way out. It's there. The picture's there, the price there, but the shipping date is weeks away.
Now, see, the funny thing is, and I was going to throw this out here, places like B&H and Adorama, okay. They're going to get theirs, okay? Because apparently they still have good graces with DJI.
Yeah.
They're still on the good side of the fence with them, so they'll get theirs, and they'll get theirs faster than a place like Best Buy. Best Buy had obviously rubbed DJI the wrong way. Maybe a lot of it had to do with them releasing these drones ahead of time and selling them and stuff. I don't know. But it just seemed that DJI's got rubbed the wrong way with Best Buy for some reason.
Well, Amazon doing that way. Amazon in the retail business, they carry the biggest stick in the business. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, yeah.
no retailer let somebody. I mean, we think DJI is a big company, but they're a small company, big scheme of things. They definitely don't have any pull over Amazon. Amazon
Oh,
probably
no.
treats Best Buy like one of their minor sellers.
Well, and I was talking about this with my wife earlier today too. I said, the great appeal about Amazon, and this was what makes it beautiful, is their return policy. Okay,
Yeah.
bar none.
Same with Best Buy. That's why everybody loves Best Buy.
Yeah, and Best Buy has a great return policy too. Question of the day: what did you think of the DJI Mavic 3 Classic release date and pricing? Let me know in the comments section below. Thanks so much for watching, and remember, it's a great day to fly.